Hello, my name is Sam Caballero, co-founder and CEO of PivotIn. On behalf of the Board of Certified Safety Professionals Global Learning Summit, welcome to Pivot Your Safety Career to the Next Level. Before we begin, please make sure to have the worksheet titled Pivot Your Safety Career to the Next Level printed and in front of you, as we will be utilizing this throughout the workshop. And this is what the workshop will be focusing on. In this workshop, we're going to define what it means to pivot. Most importantly, what does it mean for you to pivot as it relates to your personal journey? We will also engage in an activity where it will focus on you visualizing what you would like for yourself. Lastly, we will reflect on what we talked about and how that relates to your next question and your next steps. So here we go with a question. The question is, what does it mean for you to pivot your career? I'm going to give you 5 minutes where I would like for you to think about this question and write down in the corresponding area of your worksheet what comes to mind first. Now remember, these 5 minutes is your time, and I'd like for you to take full advantage, as many of us do not get the time to think about ourselves as it relates to our next steps. Go ahead and begin. We are at the 1 minute mark, 1 minute. And time. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you have had an opportunity to define what it means for you to pivot your career, I'd like to share what others have said. Before we talk about that, I'd like to share that I am an associate certified coach with the International Coaching Federation, where I have coached many about the challenges they face at work, to include those that may have lost their motivation in their current role, or that they just simply would like to pivot somewhere else. Here is what I have heard in those that I've coached. First, I just simply want a new direction in my career, as I am not happy where I'm at, or I would simply like to do something different. The second is that some have used the word reinvention, which for many means change something so much that it appears new. Many times those looking to pivot in the area of reinvention are usually looking to obtain more knowledge through education, enhance their personal brand by obtaining an industry-based credential, or utilize current abilities and pivot into a new career with those abilities. The third focuses on and in engaging in a lifelong dream of opening their own business or consultancy, or pivot into a completely different career than the one they're in right now. The fourth is about doing something different, which happens with those that are either midlife or towards the end of their career, where they're about to hit retirement, where they just simply would like to do something completely different. The last one is about staying with the current organization. However, they want to move to another position. Now that you have seen other reactions, what does this mean for you? If you don't mind, go ahead and take a moment and just review what you see. And maybe there's some differences between what you wrote down to begin with and what you see right now. I'll just give you a few moments to do that. Welcome back, everybody. This U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics report published in January of 2022 indicates that the job outlook within occupational health and safety specialists and technicians will grow about 7% from 2020 to 2030. For those that are in management, that number is almost double. And management means safety management to 13% between 2020 to 2030. So definitely room for growth at this time, and to take this particular time to really engage with your pivot. So let's talk about your pivot. There are 5 important steps when it comes to pivoting your next move. The first step is identifying your pivot in the first place with the focus on you. We will talk more about your current skills, education level, credentials, and relevant experience later in this workshop. However, let's find out more about your core values and how this is the foundation of what is important to you, especially in how it allows you to make great decisions. Here we go. Once again, please make sure you have downloaded and printed your worksheet where it will have a list of intrinsic core values to engage with. You will have 2 minutes to go through the list and identify the values based on the top legend, which includes 1, always important, 2, often important, 3, sometimes important, and 4, not important. Please go through the whole list and identify each one with either a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So you'll have 2 minutes to do this in, and I'll be right back. Also, keep in mind, this is just simply an assessment where it's taking a snapshot on where you're at, not a test. So once again, go through each core value and identify if it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4 for you. And I'll be back in 2 minutes. Take care. Hello, everyone. We're coming up to about a minute. Keep in mind, identify each core value with 1, 2, 3, or 4, and this is what it looks like based on what you identify for each value. I'll be back to you in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. By this time, you would have gone through all of the core values and identified which ones are a 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and what you're going to do is you're going to identify by circling each core value that you identified as a number 1, just like here. So go back to the list. You have 2 minutes. You're going to circle all of the core values that you identified as number 1s. I'll be back to you shortly. Hello, everyone. We're about 1 minute away. Please make sure that you are circling all the core values that you identified as number 1. And I'll be back to you in about a minute. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you've had an opportunity to circle all the values that you have identified as number 1, now you're going to review all the ones that you've circled, and you're only going to select 5. 5 of the core values are going to go to the right of the list. And when you do this, and you select those 5, you're going to place the value in that particular spot in a column where it says value, and then you're going to identify what it means to you and why that is important to you. And I've given you an example here. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to be able to do that. So I need you to go quickly, because whatever comes to you first when it comes to those values, then whatever comes to you next when it comes to the meaning, that's what I want you to document. And I'll be back to you shortly. Take care. We've got 1 minute left, 1 minute to select 5 values out of the ones that were identified as number 1s, and for you to identify the meaning of each one. 1 minute left. We'll see you shortly. And that is time. Thank you for participating in this activity. The purpose is to help you identify those values that are important to you intrinsically. These values can provide insight on what should be included as part of the next role or position you select for yourself. Also, keep this list close as values do not necessarily change. However, it can be a reminder to yourself when you most need it, especially when you're faced with a challenge or a problem. Now, let's talk about how you can empower yourself. The second step in your pivot is finding the strength to empower yourself to make things happen. Sometimes in our journey from starting our very first new job to where we are at today, we sometimes forget the past accomplishments, accolades, and other successful ventures that have proven our abilities. This is the time to truly rediscover them as they can help in empowering to take on your pivot. Silence the internal negative chatter and build the confidence you need to overcome. To find your power to empower, please go to the worksheet and write the following formula. Strengths plus knowledge plus skills, or SKS, multiplied by how often you engage in your SKSs in the various areas you associate with. Under strengths, this includes your talents, such as what you're good at, your temperament, which is how you approach various challenges, your endurance, which is the stamina in getting things completed, and lastly, your overall wellness. Wellness is about your overall well-being. Therefore, having a balanced diet, getting plenty of sleep, and engaging in some level of activity can help with your overall strength and endurance. Knowledge is about your overall professional self-development and keeping your skills up to par with industry standards, your formal education, and the need to obtain or update credentials. Lastly, knowing a concept or a topic is important. However, you can comprehend it at a level that can be utilized at any given moment where it will provide you success. Skills development is the training you have had and will have to sharpen your ability to get things accomplished. Your skills are enhanced based on your past experiences. Because you understand your strengths, knowledge, and skills, you can communicate your personal brand of getting things accomplished, aka your ability to execute. Lastly, your engagement is about your participation in a variety of formal or informal events where you're interacting both at home and at work and showcasing what you can do. Most importantly, your engagement is also about building your network and reinvesting in your skills, knowledge, and strengths. Ultimately, your skills, strengths, and knowledge will equate to your overall ability to power up your empowerment in finding your voice, confidence, and overall strength, as this will help provide clarity around what you would like and don't like and what you are passionate about, and how this can identify with your overall purpose. The third step is about what you like to do, meaning, does it bring some level of enjoyment? Of course, the opposite of like is dislike, meaning a sense of aversion to include avoiding accomplishing it altogether. The benefit of step 3 is diving deeper into not only what you like and dislike, but what you are passionate about and how this can connect you to your profession. Let's find out more. Listed here are 3 specific words that focus on you: your likes, passions, and how they relate to your overall purpose. Let's first focus on your likes. Your likes can include how you engage with others, your approach in thinking of new ideas, how you view various challenges with the end in mind, to already having a plan. We already know about what is the difference between dislikes and likes. However, what is the difference between likes and what you are passionate about? Passion or passions are a strong emotional connection to a particular subject or topic. It particularly drives one emotion where they can spend a great deal of time researching or engaging on a topic where one loses the track of time. Some areas of focus where passions can be intense is how one engages in finding a solution, how they approach a particular situation as they utilize their analytical side, how they communicate their findings to include discussing topics that are difficult to explain. So likes can be defined as something that is enjoyable, while passions are about intense emotions. Then how do they connect with your purpose? Purpose can be defined as reason for being. Some find that reason for being could be how they support others or how they can be of service to others. For some, it could be that their reason for being is to take care of their needs as they are ambitious in climbing the career ladder, while others see their reason for being is to improve or make things better. Whatever it may be, the important aspect here is to connect with your reason for being. Most importantly, what is your reason for being as it relates to the things you like and the things that you are passionate about? Let's take a closer look at this example. Here is an example where I like creating new ideas. I am passionate about seeing people learn. Taking my like and passion, it connects with my purpose of helping people help themselves. Now, it is your turn. I'm going to give you 3 minutes where I would like for you to list one item that you like, one item that you're passionate about, and then how does your like and your passion relate to your purpose? Go ahead and begin, and we'll get back to you shortly. We're down to 1 minute, one more minute to go. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for participating in this activity. Let's look how it all relates back to your pivot. The fourth step is about you, what you want for yourself in terms of a future position, which would possibly be a part of your overall career. Utilizing what you discovered about yourself so far, which includes your core values, what empowers you, and of course, likes and passions, we will now look at the resources you need, which will then allow you to pivot forward. So you're ready to pivot. By this time, you have already built your awareness enough to know more about you, what empowers you, and how this relates to your likes, passions, and how it fulfills your purpose. Because of knowing more about this, it allows you to engage with your pivot forward, just like this picture where you're at a train station ready to get on the train. However, what kind of train are you getting on and where is it going to go when it comes to the types of resources that you need that will get you there? As competitive as the environmental health and safety industry is, it is highly encouraged to leverage the following resources. First, get a mentor. A mentor is someone that has been in the industry longer than you and in a position that may be one level above yours already. A mentor will provide industry-based and or company-based information and insight that may not necessarily be readily available to you. A coach, on the other hand, is a person that you can have a great conversation with where they will utilize open-ended questions to help you facilitate an answer to your concerns. The benefit of a trained and certified coach is that they will not tell you the answers like a mentor. However, they will ask you poignant, profound, and engaging questions that will make you think of the possible solutions. Lastly, there is sponsorship, where another employee of a higher position than you in the company can not only mentor on your next steps, but can advocate for you to senior leadership. For more information about these resources, reach out to your organization and ask if these services are available to you. Trying to pivot your career can be difficult. If your resume is not up to date, nor your social media, such as your LinkedIn account, is not mirroring your current status. Make sure that make sure both your resume and LinkedIn are up to date, because then we can now visualize what these next steps look like for you. It is time to focus on what you visualize for yourself. This activity cannot be done here during this workshop. It needs to be done where you are most creative, meaning where you can go, whether it's walking or running or doing some activity where you get a chance to think about you, your empowerment and what you like and how it relates to what you want for yourself. Because once you have identified this, you can start creating some goals for your next steps. For today, I highly encourage you to write in your notes as a to-do that you will take an opportunity to take a walk, be still, and think about where you're at and what you visualize for yourself, because this will help you with the goals that you would like to set for yourself so that you can be able to move forward. I'm sure many have seen Peter Drucker's SMART goals concept, where a goal needs to be specific and can be measured. In terms of pivoting a career, I recommend that you use the word achievable in what you want to do, relatable in your overall goals, and when will it be completed. There's two other words that may help you in completing your goals, which would also make them smarter. E is for you to evaluate on what went well and did not go particularly well in completing the goal. R is about readjusting and re-navigating to ensure you can get back on track, because it relates back to your final step. The fifth and final step is about reflecting on what worked in your journey and what almost worked and what you need to do to pivot again. It is highly recommended to get a journal and document your journey. When we get back to the minutia of our daily lives, we sometimes forget what we have installed for our goals and moving forward to pivot. Regarding those goals, did we accomplish what we said we were going to do? And did it effectively work? Most importantly, what almost worked? And if we had the right resources, or if we executed our plan during a different time, what could have been the results? The key here is that the pivot wheel is a framework. It's cyclical, where we get back on track and pivot again. And we continue to go through the steps of updating the current values of you, updating yourself of what empowers you, your updated likes and passions, the need to re-engage with your overall pivot and to reflect on it once again. Now that you have participated in this workshop, what are your next steps? You are now going to get 10 minutes where I would like for you to indicate what your next steps are in 1, utilizing your core values, 2, what is your plan to power up your empowerment through your strengths, knowledge, and skills, 3, identify your likes and passions and how it relates to your purpose, and then 4, based on your education and experience, what resources do you need to move forward, and 5, when will you take the opportunity to reflect on your next steps? Please go ahead and begin now and use your notes as a reference. 10 minutes. I'll see you shortly. We have about a minute left, 1 minute left. Welcome back, everyone. If you have not finished, I highly encourage you to take some time to finish up your action plans because it goes back to what it means for you to pivot your career. And remember, if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door so you can pivot through it. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope you have enjoyed this workshop. I'd like to connect via LinkedIn if possible. Please hover your cell phone camera over this QR code and let me know your thoughts of the workshop. Also, speaking of feedback, please make sure you have taken an opportunity to provide any feedback to the summit planners. Thank you once again. Take care.